god of earth. And so with them the physical universe was created.
Okay, the physical universe, that means that the God of the sky and the earth. Now listen, the earth is male because it's always inside of the ethers, is what they call air. Not air, but the sky. That's ethers. So now you got the earth and the ethers always having a constant sexual embrace with each other, because the earth is moving through the sky, just like us as people move through the ethers, move through the atmosphere of the air, and the space that we move through is always tantrasexuality. It's always the same as if a phallus is going up inside of a woman's vagina. The whole universe itself, all this space that we see, is the head or root that I keep telling you about, which is the universal uterus. So now you got the earth, which is Gab, having interaction with the whole, that which encompasses all, that is known as Shu, the sky, that's full of stars. If you see the depiction of her, I won't get off track. I'll try to show you that later. Okay, let's go.
From the union of Geb and Nut, 4 human children were born, and so the story of civilization begun.
The Egyptian creation story, in many respects, represents the development of a civilization and the growing of Egypt, I suppose. And it's coming out of something that's very simple and coming out of nature, and then it's being developed by man and being developed also into obviously one of the greatest civilizations that there ever was.
The spiritual world represented the physical world. So as it was in heaven, so as it was on earth.
Okay, here's the god of Sar, as you can see in the constellation of Orion, with the Orion's belt right there, the 1, 2, 3. You can see the line come down to make the 1, 2, 3 pyramids that was aligned with the god of Sar. God will, Asar, the God of the heavens, God will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So this placement of these 3 stars right here got a placement of these pyramids as a symbolic representation of them right here on earth. And you can see him holding the 5-point star in his hand that everyone else is trying to steal for themselves now. But you can see he got the staff in his hand, the plow right there, meaning plant good seeds. He is the person who planted all the seeds on the earth. Asar is the father of all mankind on the earth. And next to him is the constellation of Ceres, which is his wife Aset. And the both of them together have union with each other that produce all the life on the earth. It wasn't no Jesus by himself. Asar has a wife, and they copulated and had the son Heru, which is showing you the same symbolic representation of a man and a woman have union with each other on the earth and have children. Nothing incomplete about that. But Jesus by himself is very incomplete. Very incomplete.
The Africans came together in Kemet to build a heaven on earth.
So what you see is this combination of balance and harmony. The essence of what we find within traditional African society is an understanding of the totality of life that is
that which encompasses all.
Matrilineal. And
see, that which encompasses all. Look at it. With the blackness in the middle, the god Asar. Now you saw in the camera, I'm shooting at the sun in the daytime, and then the sun just make the background go all black to show you, to corroborate who I am. The God of the perfect black, Asar, which means that when the sun tells me to say something, I have to say it. I have to be bigger than someone's pride, okay? I have to be bigger than someone worried about their ego or their reputation, because I am a God, whether you like it or not. And know you not that you are God and goddesses, but you don't want to activate your God power, so you want to get mad at me for practicing the rituals necessary for me to continue being God. And I'm trying to tell you, the biggest task that I got right now is to wake y'all asses up. And that's why I use so much profanity, because I have to deal with so much stupidity when you can see all this stuff having a serious connection to reality, but everybody want to be stuck on dead ass Jesus. So ridiculous.
It's paired with the masculine energy in order to maintain its force and its operation throughout society. If you suppress the female, you suppress 50% of the power.
If you suppress the female, you suppress the primordial waters, which is feminine. Okay, the vagina of the woman is full with fluids. All right, we all know that. All right, you get to playing around with her and she get moist, and all that water down in there get her ready to receive you. When she's ready to receive you and you go up in her and you put more water in her, now she can push out life, which is the way the sun was pushed into existence. The sun was born the same way men and women are born. It was born from the primeval waters. All right, the primeval waters pushed the sun up out of the blackness. In the Bible it says God saw that it was dark and said, let there be light. That ain't the way it went. What happened is that there was a medium of light put into the blackness. Because of the darkness, there was a need for the sun. And when the light came up, its sole purpose is to bring illumination to that which is dark. All right, and then the darkness stays dark anyway because it is a greater manifestation of light. It is the greatest manifestation of that which encompasses the light. So there would be no light if it wasn't for the darkness that gave need for the light to be born. So the sun was born simply because the darkness commissioned for the sun to be born. So just like the darkness inside of the female uterus pushes out the SON sun that walks on earth, the darkness of the primeval pushed out the SUN sun that remains into the darkness of the universe. So when that sun moves out of your face, that blackness that it's blinded you from seeing was always there and still remains there. So know that to be so. So you cannot eradicate the woman, which everything comes from, which gives her a higher percentage than 50%, because she made the man. Okay, so she is 100%, and since the man comes from her, he also is 100%, because he is a symbolic representation of her. But not as great, but still great enough to be 100%, but not able to push out babies other than his babies that comes out as semen to go back into the woman. So he's constantly begging her to let him be the one that she gives resurrection through by allowing his seed to pass through her and his children pushed out of her. There was a time when a man knew that the greatest thing was a woman because he was birthed from a woman and she was also needed to regenerate his seeds. Okay, so it's not 50-50. A lot of people got that confused. The woman is superb and supreme over the man. To prove that to you, only thing a man does when he come on this earth is chase a woman around trying to get at her coochie. And that's really important. They don't mess the woman head up with religion and Christianity, that now she'll bow down to the man begging him. All right, because they stole everything from her. Don't give her any money and tell her she ain't shit and that she's the reason there's sin on earth. But that's not true. She is the reason that there is men and women on the earth. So her vagina waters is the same as the waters of the primeval that the sun got pushed out of
the Creator.
It seems really important, and in many respects the sort of male and female seem to represent the two different forces coming together. And I suppose it's a bit like the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt in some respects.
Because they understood that it wasn't just about gender. It was about the understanding of the energy and how it moves, how masculine energy moves and how feminine energy moves, and how to marry the two, which created balance, life.
But the difference is this: the man cannot reproduce a living entity known as man and woman. Only the female can do that. And she is so powerful that even if the man did not ejaculate in her, she could make a baby come out of her just by thinking it in her mind. She is a highly supreme vessel over the man. This is knowledge that needs to be taught to the world, because they always trying to cover that up, and you can always see white people in there whitewashing that shit. Let me explain it to you. This woman is a bad mamma jamma. She does not need a man to be pregnant. She can impregnate herself just by thinking herself pregnant. That is the power that was given to her, because all that which encompasses all is female energy. So the male energy is female energy. The way you go is like this. You have feminine, and then you have masculine, feminine. And masculine and feminine is still feminine. So the man is 50% man, 50% woman, where the woman is 100% woman with the capability of producing man, which makes her a superior vessel. See, the man cannot produce a woman unless he has a woman to produce her through. This female can produce woman and man with the total eradication of a man, just like in the story of Asar and Set. When Asar was killed and dead, she was able to still give birth just through his spiritual energy without him even penetrating her or ejaculating in her. She wanted his child, so she came to him and took the spirituality that was around him and used his spiritual energy to impregnate herself. What that means is that the thought of having his child, she was able to do it and make it be spiritual essence of her dead husband just because she wanted it to happen. That's how powerful the woman is.
The idea was to create a land which was like the land that was up in the skies and beneath the earth. And in that sense, they saw that how they were arranged in families was also how the gods must also be arranged in families, and how the spiritual energies of the universe must also be arranged in families because they are arranged in families.
Absolutely right. He said the spiritual energy of the universe. That means the spiritual energy of the universe, the same spiritual energy that gave birth to the sun, can also give birth to that woman without her ever having a copulation with a man. Just the thought of the spiritual energy getting her pregnant can happen. She could just think herself pregnant. That's how bad she is. She could think herself pregnant. The man can't do that because he doesn't have a uterus. He doesn't have a womb. Her womb is so powerful, the only thing the man want to do with his dick is get it up in the woman's womb. That's how bad she is. That's the power of her. And that's the reason why the ancient Kemetic people built all those temples with her womb in it. And one womb after another to show you the immortality capability that we all is manifested in forever to be created and recreated through the spiritual energy of the female.
Three of the most important Neterim in Kemet were Asar, Aset, and Heru.
Or to give them the more usual names, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. These three deities originally came from Cush.
These are very, very important triumvirate.
Their stories are as much mythology as they are history.
Now, according to Diodorus Siculus, who was one of the ancient Greek historians, Osiris was originally a community leader of...
See, this is what bugs me. Why do you have to have the Greeks to tell you the story of the Egyptian? According to Diodorus, which was a Greek scholar. Who cares about that? Why can't you tell of what the Egyptian people said, since they were the ones who created the mythology? Why do you got to go to the white man? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They came out here and took control of the whole world, and they stole all the money that even now when you have black people telling about the history of black people, they got to tell it through what the white man said went on when we was on the earth for years and years and years before any white person showed up. And so there's so many black scholars who told this story millions of times before it even got told to the white man. But then, as you just heard him say it, according to the Greek scholar. See, this is the stuff that really bugs me. It bugs me that the Johnny come lately always got to be a reference point to tell our ancient ass history. When they can't do anything right, they can't even go on Mount Hood without getting lost all the damn time.
Very early Cush. He doesn't call him a king of Cush, but he makes it quite...
Asar, known in Greek as Osiris. And that's the only way you can find him on YouTube. You got to go look for Osiris. This is how they contaminated our world with all of that bullshit, because they had guns and stole all the wealth. And they control the media and they control everything. And so now every time you got to get our history or something about us, it's got